I'm going to get this recorded. Well, hello, everyone. I am Katie Ersta. I am one of your upline coaches or sponsor coaches, and I've been doing this for quite some time. I've been doing this for a little over 7 years, so I have quite a bit of experience when it comes to helping new coaches get started. I have experience when it comes to objections and just really helping you focus on achieving your goals. So one of the things that we do is a lot of times, Melanie, myself, Megan Blinka, we usually kind of divide and conquer when it comes to running new coach calls. So I have the honor of running the second week in your Coach University and just walk you through and mentor you through some of the things that you might be going through right now as you're working on your goals, especially as many of us are working towards that morning meltdown program. So this is just a really great opportunity for you to kind of walk through and chat with me for a couple minutes about what you're going through, some things you're experiencing right now, and so I can maybe give you some feedback on that. So I like to really open it up with you guys chatting with me and walking through it that way, because chances are if one of you might be having an issue or concern or objection, somebody else is experiencing the same thing. So I want to kick it off and just get to know you guys and hear a little bit more about what's happening in your businesses as you walk through your first month. So does anyone want to kind of go first and tell me a little bit about what they're getting, what they're experiencing, anything? And you can actually click the unmute. Oh my gosh, that kickback is terrible. Is anyone else like hearing that, or is it just me? Is it good now? Okay, so I think I have everybody sort of muted. So now I'm like, okay, let's manually unmute and see if we can get it to work. So who wants to go ahead and kick it off? Sorry, excuse me. I can call on people too if you're shy.
I can. Okay, so I hope my kids are quiet in the background.
Totally good. You're totally fine.
Okay, so I have been definitely like posting. I definitely need to post more, get onto the, one a day and keep adding to my stories. I've been trying to. I get about 5 stories in a day, and I've been kind of posting. If I'm honest, it's probably every other day for like a good, call to action post. I get about 17 to maybe 25 likes on those. And then I do reach out to those people and just kind of like say thanks for the love and all that kind of jazz. But I'm not really getting anybody I've sent a few links to people. I've definitely offered the coaching option for like a discount and stuff, but I'm just not getting anybody like on board.
Okay. So everything that you're saying is like incredibly normal. So let me ask you some questions. First question is, how long have you been coaching?
Okay. So I originally joined Beachbody in 2015. I had signed up under like a high school friend. She was kind of doing her own thing, so I never learned anything. So this Coach University stuff is completely awesome because I feel like I'm actually learning how to do the business.
Yeah.
But so I left. I just was kind of like a discount coach, for all those years. Back in November, I left the business side of it and just kind of did my own, just stayed on the Shaco and just did my own thing. But with Melanie, I really, like I said, I was really excited and knowing that there'd be the Coaching University. So I came back May 31st. So it's not like I've been doing this for long.
Yeah.
But my family is just, they're not financially sound where they could really be my first people, which is like kind of disappointing because, I have a big family. But so I've been kind of reaching out to friends and, just really growing my social media. I have about 6,000 friends on Instagram. So there should be people on there that will sign up, but I just have to keep at it, I guess.
Yeah. So there's a couple things. When you start and you're like establishing yourself as a coach, it really is about the connection, creating and cultivating a community and building that trust. So it might be that right now you are in this season of like people are maybe curious about it, but they also want to like know if you're really in it, if you're really committed, if you're really going to be consistent, if you're going to be the right person to guide them. So they're kind of just getting a feel for you. So one thing that I would suggest is really sharing like your journey. So that is starting to like almost like journal like what's happening with you as you go through this transformation. So it is putting out your first transformation story. It is sharing some of the foods that you are eating. It is starting to document your journey consistently. So even though you're sharing like what you're doing, what you're going through, the program that you're committed to, you're also incredibly like you're consistent enough that you're letting them know that they can do this too. So it might be that number one, it's just showing up consistently. And number two, letting them know like or adding value in some way through the story that you're sharing. So what are you learning personal development wise? How are you learning about the right nutritionals that you're eating? How is a challenge group making an impact on your life? And you're reaching out and you're talking about those things over and over and over again. And then about like every 5 or 6 posts, you're actually doing a direct call to action with either your business or your group, whatever you might be running. Right now, you have a great opportunity to invite people into Morning Meltdown 100. So it's really talking about like the workouts that you've experienced so far. If you've done some of the programs, it's talking about being in a group with Jericho herself. For those who are interested in doing this with you. So I always tell new coaches, like, you never have to pretend to be a pro at this. It really is about slowing your roll a little bit and being like, I just want to do this with people and letting them like join you. Second thing you said, I mentioned is like, you mentioned that your family can't afford it. And I almost think there needs to be a little bit of a perception shift. And that is you're assuming that they can't afford it. When really it's about like, looking at the bigger picture of, are there other things that maybe you're just assuming they won't sacrifice that you can maybe prove are worth the sacrifice? So even when I'm posting, I talk about the objections. I talk about the objections when I started. I talked about, my husband being like just a slave to that Excel budget sheet. I talk about like how I had to sacrifice my Starbucks. I would eat out for lunch a lot. And so I would find these little ways to actually save money. And I create that into content. I still create that into content. So when you're saying like, I just don't think people can afford it, in my head, I go, I don't know how people can afford not to take care of themselves. And this is how I know how to simplify taking care of myself. So I think you kind of in your head too have to say like, what makes this incredibly affordable, and break down like really like what they're getting, like the value of what they're getting, and why it's so worth it. So those are just a couple of suggestions that I have, but above all from this, what you were saying is that consistency is big. Like that idea of like consistently showing up is going to be huge for you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. What else you guys got?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good. I'm not sure if everybody can hear me okay, but my story is very similar to Nicole, who just shared. I joined Beachbody back in 2015. And when I had my daughter in November of last year, I just took some time off just because I was overwhelmed as a new mom, and then also very overwhelmed at all of the training that is involved with Beachbody and not really having that support and that guidance. And so like Nicole, I'm really happy that Melanie and her team has kind of broken it down into a system that will simplify the process for me.
Yeah.
I think my biggest challenge is introducing the coaching opportunity. And once I get somebody who's interested, like how to get them started. It's just, I'm always stumped at that part. I have no problem with sharing. It's just once that person is interested, where do I go from there?
All right, so this is super simple. Like, never let the worry that you're not going to be able to coach someone effectively like scare you, because you do have access to so much information, and you do have access to coaches who have been doing this for a long time, so they do have that like professionalism. But there's a couple of things that I do when I get a new coach started, right? So I never try to own somebody else's success or lack thereof. So you know that if you want to be successful, you have access to everything that you need. So all you're doing is sort of creating the motivation and the segue to more information. So when I sign a new coach and they get in their email, like an email from corporate that tells them like exactly where to go for more information to set up their getting started right call, I put them into the Beachbody Champions page, or that they request to join it. Like, is somebody like screen sharing? This is the weirdest thing I've ever, that's really weird. Is somebody screen sharing? I can't stop their share. What is going on?
Somebody's booking a ticket.
I know someone's booking.
Sorry, it was me. I'm
Was
sorry.
that you, Barna? How did you do that?
I didn't realize until
I had no idea that you could even screen share like your screen. I thought as the host, I was the only one able to screen share. That's so funny. Well, enjoy your trip. I don't know where you're booking a trip to, but take me with you. I'll just go in your suitcase.
my mom is coming tomorrow, so I was sending that to my brother, but sorry for that.
Barna, don't worry about it. It was just really funny. I didn't even know you could do that, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. All right, so back to what we were saying. When you sign someone up, put them into the like Beachbody Champions page. When you go in there, and I'm just going to share this with you. If I go into the Beachbody Champions page, and do you guys all have access to this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you go in here, I tell them to go to the files section, not the files, the units section. And within that unit section, they can start right there. And so all of this is like information for them to actually get started. The other place that they can go is just the Coach Online office that's referred to them. When they do that getting started right, there's like a sheet, a document. It's like your first 30 hours as a coach that goes over those first few things they need to know as a coach. Then you would get on the phone with them and talk to them about their first goals. Once you do that, then you can put them into the coach trainings. I would plug them into this call every week so they have access to it. And then you're kind of letting them know as a new coach, you're doing this alongside of them. So, and I love that piece of it because you guys are like figuring out the business together. You're not like doing it alone, you're figuring out together. So it's more like somebody's your partner. You don't have to come off as like the pro. You know, if I was trying to come off as like the fitness expert, nobody would be successful in their fitness journey because I'm not the expert, I'm just the motivation. It's the same with your business. So you are like the business motivation and you're helping them like seeing where to navigate, like what tools to use, what's helpful, what's working for you. But at the end of the day, it's their job to create their success as well. But you can plug them into like the team page. You can plug them into the new coach training. You can plug them into any mentorship calls that your upline is doing. And maybe that's like the appeal of it. As a new coach, when I started, I wasn't trying to say, I'm the pro, join my team. I was saying, we are going to rock this business and I'm looking for people to do it alongside me. Like, I want partners in this business. I want people to like learn this with me, that we're going to do this together. So you don't always have to say like, I need to come off as the pro, because you're not. Like even in your fitness journey, if you really look at it, as you commit to MM100, if you go into it from the perspective of I'm looking for people to do this with me, as opposed to I'm the pro, I'm going to have all the answers, and you're going to be successful because I'm going to do the work for you, that's not how it works. It's guiding someone and taking their arm and linking arms with them and saying, we're going to do this together. And have fun with it. Like take that pressure off of yourself to have all the answers and to do it all right. And just even when you post, just saying like, I don't have all the answers and this is kind of going to be messy and I know that it's going to be hard work, but I'm really excited to be able to do it with people who truly want to see results, who truly are looking to make an income from home, and to just do it together. I think it's less intimidating that way when we say it that way. Does that help? Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Cool. Okay, so I am going to respond to a question that I got in here. And if you guys have questions and you wanted to type them up too, you can. But it says, it seems like everyone is so far ahead of me is more far ahead of me in terms of the process. My coach is no longer doing any groups and I need someone to guide me how to get started. Is there someone I can connect with? So first of all, go into your coach online office, and within your coach online office, in the very, very center of that coach online office is your profile. When you click on your profile, you should see that you have access to your team. It's your team. So click on team. It gives you information about your upline sponsor, your upline diamond coach, and then your upline star diamond coach. If you have an upline coach who is not actively working the business, go to your active upline diamond coach. And if that person is no longer working the business, which they are probably, if they are diamond, go to your upline star diamond. Send them a message and say, help me connect. I'm looking for a challenge group. I'm looking for a coach basics group. I'm looking for support in any way that you have. And be specific about your needs and let them know what your goals are so that they know you're serious about wanting to build the business. That's where you can have, that's where you can gain some access to trainings, to challenge groups, or whatever it might be. So it's okay if your direct upline is a discount coach. It happens sometimes, but you do have a great team. Like all of you guys are part of an organization that does support in some way. You just have to make sure that you're proactive about reaching out. So cool. All right. So what else? What other questions do you guys have? I am going to assume, because no one has questions, that everybody has already hit Success Club. Everybody is already at their goals for the month. Everybody's ready to go Emerald this month. Is that so? Are you hitting any roadblocks? Are you struggling to understand something in the comp plan? Like, really take this time to ask me those questions, because that is what I am here for.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm sorry. I just realized.
Sorry, do not apologize. Girl, stop apologizing.
I know it became such a bad habit. I have my husband under me. Not sure if I keep him as a coach also, but with MM100, I don't have BOD, so I had to cancel mine the renewal last month, but he has it, so that's why I had to cancel it. Like, I didn't want to have two BOD in the same household.
Okay.
So if I purchase the MM100 under him, will I still be staying I just cannot figure out how to do that so that it won't affect my status, but then at the same time, it will kind of put some not the progress, but maybe like some activity in, like in my team, I guess. I'm not sure how that even explain.
I don't think I'm following. So I personally think every coach, like every working business coach, should have Beachbody On Demand on their own, because then when you hit Success Club, you can qualify for leads because you have a Beachbody On Demand account.
Okay.
So for me personally, I would sign up with the Morning Meltdown 100 Beachbody On Demand Challenge Pack. It makes the most sense because you'll be able to get it for a good price. So you can get MM100, Beachbody On Demand, and you can get like the performance line or something all bundled into one price. That's what I would do, Barno.
Okay. So then this way we would have two BODs in the
You
same.
would, unless how long ago did you order bot under him? I mean, Mike doesn't have a bot account. Like he just uses mine. So I get what you are saying now.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I can cancel then his.
See if you can, see what the date was that he signed up, and see if you can. That's what I would do personally. But I've never not had a bot account. So it's always been under me. And he's just never had one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right. I am going to answer Jessica Noonan's question. She said, I've just landed for a work trip, so I'm in a busy airport, so I will type in the chat. I've been a coach since November. I never really got the things off the ground back then, and then I let life get in the way. My full-time job got crazy. We bought a house, and I stopped working out, and now I'm the heaviest I've ever been, trying to get back on my own fitness journey, but I feel like a bit of a fraud with no results yet. I know the answers to share anyway. I just want to be honest and raw about it so people trust me to join. Listen, I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I mean this so respectfully, you cannot let the fact that your life has happened be an excuse. So life happens, and you have the opportunity to let it inspire people or to say you can't. So for me, when I am going through this, and I did a post on my own Instagram about this today, I would say make it a weekly thing to share your progress. And so for me, every Monday, I am going to be sharing a side-by-side picture of my ongoing transformation. And when people are swiping, they're going to see certain foods that I ate throughout the week, glimpses of my workout. They can swipe to see all of those things. But ultimately, what's happening is when you show up consistently by sharing and documenting that, you're creating your own testimonial. So I would say make a commitment to at least once a week share your side-by-side. And on your Instagram, create a swipe option where people can see what it's really taking you to actually change, from the inside out. And then as you're walking people through your ongoing transformation, they're not just saying, oh, look at her transformation once. They're seeing you as you go along transforming. And then be honest with people. I would get out a white sticky note of paper and I would write down all of the things that have happened to you in the last however many months, and how you dropped out of your fitness journey. Because when you write those down, you can start to see them as excuses other people will give you. So once you have that list of all the reasons why you maybe gained weight or you stopped your fitness, they become real objections that you can counter through your posting. So when I think of let's say for example, maybe for me, when I was really sick, I could talk about the fact that I didn't work out because I was really, really sick. When people give me that objection of like being sick, I can say things like, I just sweat for something bigger. I just would do yoga, or I would just make sure that I was eating a healthy meal. So I just think that everything that you're saying in terms of why maybe it wasn't working out for you then, and why you were struggling months ago, is an opportunity to overcome objections other people give you, and also to share anyway. So it's kind of like now for you, like your transformation and your own testimonial is really your mission. You know, it's going to inspire others, it's going to encourage others, but it's also going to make you accountable. So if you say to people, I'm going to share my transformation every Sunday night, and they're going to expect to see your transformation every Sunday night. Guess what it does for you? Twofold. It helps you be consistent. It makes you accountable. And it also shares people as you're going, like what your journey really looks like. So you just have to be bold about it. You have to put it out there. How important is it to do the exact program that is launching when it's not? I have bad knees, so I typically stick with Lift 4. Caitlin, do what workout speaks to you. You don't have to do a program that's launching just because it's launching. It's your business. So if your workout is Lift 4, you can talk about your Beachbody on Demand. You can talk about people having access to other workouts, but you don't just need to do the workout because that's what everyone else is doing. Not at all. I'm just starting 21 Day Fix real time, started Saturday, but need to do something where I know I can keep up and make some small wins. Yeah, I would do that for sure. So just a couple more thoughts. Like, do you guys have any other questions for me? I'm kind of going to give you guys some of my thoughts in moving forward this week.
This is Renee. I just have I feel like it's kind of a similar situation. But I'm a registered dietitian. I just recently launched a new business. So I actually just made my first post yesterday. So I think where I'm coming from is I kind of don't want to turn off the people who have just started following me by being too salesy, I guess. I'm not really a salesperson. And also being a registered dietitian, you know, my specialty is kind of body positivity and food friendliness. So I am kind of hoping to stray away from the, you know, before and afters, or, you know, so much focus on body and weights and more on, you know, I'm feeling more energetic, you know, just this is how you can fit this in your day as a stay-at-home mom. So I guess I'm just kind of struggling with being so different from, you know, the experiences that you typically see of, you know, Beachbody coaching and, you know, really pushing the Shakeology and the before and afters, and just kind of being nervous to get started, I guess.
Yeah. So just, you have to be creative about it. So if you know that you don't want to talk about weight and weight loss, or like you would really focus on like body image, you just have to be creative with the way that you post about it. So for example, today I did my before pictures, but I was smiling and I was like, these are my before, I'm happy now. Sure, like it would be great to lose a couple pounds, but I'm not really worried about it. I'm doing this because I want to gain confidence. I want to gain clarity. I want to gain more energy. So it's just a different spin on it. So I think, again, like, you know how I was saying with like getting like out a piece of paper, like get clear on what your message is, like, and how your message sort of aligns to Beachbody. So if you know that it's like body positivity, if you know that one, and I would even create, what's helped me is like creating a hashtag, or almost like a motto, or like a sentence or something that really is like, I use like, my weight does not determine my worth. And then I circle that and I think about like, how can I prove this? Like, it's almost like a thesis statement. How can I almost like prove this as my thesis statement, that my weight does not determine my worth? Okay, we'll give them examples of what it means to have worth, like self-worth. Okay, like what was my past like when I really did define who I was by the weight of the scale? And so get really clear with like what your message is that you're putting out. And then like just give examples and breadcrumbs of what that looks like, and then start posting about that. So just get super, super creative about it. There's nothing wrong with before and afters. but it might just be how you're presenting them.
Right.
You know, it might just be like, how can I say this a little bit differently? Like, we have no idea how much weight she lost, because that's not the goal. You know, if that's what your message is, like just saying things a little bit differently, because there's still a visual appeal from it. You know, the vision before and after is visually, people want to see it because it's proof. Even if in your caption you talk about like not letting, you know, the weight determine the worth, or not really sharing like the weight was, or, you know, doing like side by sides, or maybe it's like a picture of their face, or, you know, it could be so many other things. Right. It's just the way that you're choosing to present it, even if you have that out there. And then, you know, if you have like background in diet and nutrition, that's like a major perk. Like, because you come at it from the standpoint of, how can I present this information in a way that other people can start to understand? Mm-hmm. So for example, if you follow Alana Molstein, who is one of our, you know, certified nutritionists, one of the things that she always talks about is body positivity, but a love and an enjoyment of healthy foods. So think about like, how can you sort of spin that into your own unique style when it comes to health and fitness? And that's really what Beachbody coaching is finding a way to take these general like products that we all have access to and making them unique to your experience, and a client experience that's better than if they were just buying the products on their own.
Thanks.
So many fun things you could do with that. You're welcome. I don't want to get overwhelmed and neglect other responsibilities. It is really possible. Yes, absolutely. Hi, I'm living proof. Hi, I'm Katie. And I mean this like from the bottom of my heart. I built a 7-figure income doing this 2 to 3 hours a day while battling cancer, while raising babies, while pregnant, and while just working full time. So yeah, it's very, very possible, but it's very, very focused. So for me, one thing that I absolutely would suggest, and I didn't have this then, but I do now, is this book, Rise Up Planner. So the Rise Up Planner is a tracker. You can use the tracker that's in the Coach Online office, but use it and stick to it, get in and then get out. And I don't have time to scroll. Like Melanie and I also own a business called Chic Influencer, which is really a full-time job too. So I don't have time to mess around on social media. I get on trainings that I know I need at the time, and then I get out. I get the information that I need. I make it a requirement for myself that on Monday nights I am on a team training. I know that this Coach Basics call, I am on it. So I know that I can be successful, but I also am never, never willing to sacrifice my key priorities for the benefit of like just building to build. So I get really intentional and I say, all right, Katie, what's your goal at the end of the month? Like, what is the goal that you want to be able to achieve by the end of the month? And I put a monetary value to that. So for you, as you guys are listening to this, it might be that I'm an Emerald coach, and I always speak in present tense. I'm an Emerald coach because I know that that opens the doors to the comp plan. So I'm an Emerald coach, and I've achieved SC 10. So maybe that's the goal. So that means 5 people. And in my head, I go, how many invitations does that look like a day? So if I know I want to achieve SC10, I know throughout the course of a month, I'm going to have 100 conversations, at least. So I know that if I'm going to have 100 conversations, as I break that down, I'm going to have like 2 or 3 conversations a day. Maybe 3 to 4 conversations a day. So can 3 to 4 conversations happen in a span of 1 hour? Absolutely. They can happen in a span of an hour. But the problem is we get so overwhelmed because there's so much content out there. And there's so many coaches out there spewing information at us. But at the end of the day, we just need to focus on these small action steps that we need to take in order to move our business forward. Okay, so what are those small action steps? One. I'm going to post 5 stories a day. I'm going to give people a back behind the scenes glimpse into my life. You're a mom, right? So maybe people want to see from you, what do your kids eat? Like, what kind of healthy foods do you get your kids to eat? How do you eat them? How do you get them to eat healthy snacks? What's your workout look like? You put a story up. That takes 30 seconds to 1 minute. Second thing I do, I take the time to build genuine connections with people. So when people are engaging with me, I'm engaging with them. I'm going to their page. I'm seeing what they're about. I'm commenting. I'm liking. I'm like connecting with them. I'm creating that culture of community with them. I set a timer. I have this little ladybug timer, and I set my timer. And when that timer's out, I'm done. And then if I have started a conversation with someone and, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just like getting over my work hours, I message them and I say, I cannot wait to talk with you more about this. I actually right this second, I can't though. Let's set up a time to chat tomorrow. Are you free from X time to X time? Yes, it is possible. So I do like create these pockets of time to build my business. But to say, like, is it really possible, Katie, to do this in a power hour? Yeah. I'm living proof. Did it take me longer to achieve some of the goals that I had? Yeah, it absolutely did. But to hit Success Club, to build your business, and to like open the doors to the comp plan, you can do that for sure in an hour to 2 hours a day. Saying it with all the love in my heart, you can. You can, but it's a focus thing too. So if you find yourself being like, it's so much information, you need to like refocus and say, what information do I need right this minute? Okay, right this minute, I need to watch the team call for Monday. Right this minute, I need to watch the national wake up call. Right this minute, I need to be on the team training call. Once you know exactly right this minute what you need to do, you don't get overwhelmed. Because you're not thinking ahead and worrying ahead of what you need to do. You're too focused on what you got to do right this second. So focus on the here and now, like the right here. And even at Summit, I did a presentation and I talked about this concept of like driving towards daylight. And I'm just going to walk you through this example. But when I was diagnosed, so I had stage 4 lymphoma. I had a cancer. It's a blood cancer. And I very clearly remember being told that you're a survivor from day 1. And so in my head, I took on this role of survivor. And I wasn't there yet, but I visualized like what that meant. Like, so I started to act like a survivor before I really felt like I was a survivor. So I had this vision of where I wanted to go. So I had this vision of what it would look like to have my hair again. And I had this vision of like the shirt I would wear when I was on my last day of chemo. And I had this vision of like holding my babies. And I had a vision of like my kids growing up and watching them like from the stands, like screaming as their hockey mom. And so I had this grand vision of where I wanted to go. It was so clear, but I was very overwhelmed because it felt so far away. It felt really far away as I was going through chemo treatment, okay? So what I did instead was I focused on the mile markers that were right in front of me. So instead of thinking about like Katie as a cancer survivor, and the vision was there, it was like this grand vision, it was kind of like blurred out though. I started seeing myself as Katie the cancer fighter in this stage. So what did I need to do today to get one step closer to survivorship? So in this moment, today, what do I need to do? Okay, today I'm going to wake up. We're going to go to chemo treatment. I'm going to get the infusions. And then when I get home, I'm going to focus on sleeping. That's my one thing I will do today. And then I'm going to focus on getting enough water to heal. And then, so I would only focus on these small, seemingly insignificant steps that were right in front of me. But I knew if I was so focused on the mile markers, I would get closer to survivorship. So this applies like 1,000,000,000% to your business because you need to have that grand vision of where you want to go. You need to be so crystal clear on what that looks like, okay? So maybe it's like, I want to get the groceries paid for. You know, like I really want to be able to come home and I want to be able to say like, babe, don't worry about like getting the credit card out. I put the groceries on my card. Like I got the groceries paid for with what I made from my Beachbody. And you picture that. You picture like what it's like when your husband goes, oh shit. Like, really, you did that? Like, that's so cool. And you picture, like, how it felt to, like, go to the grocery store and hand that card and know there was enough on your account. And you picture, like, exactly what you were wearing. And you picture exactly your kids in the cart throwing a tantrum, but then you, like, walk out of there like you've got your hair back. You're, like, ready to rock it, right? And it's so clear. And then you're like, all right, that's the vision. That's where I want to go. That's what I'm going to be able to do. And I will be that person. I am that person who's going to walk out of that grocery store super proud of what she's been able to achieve. And then I'm going to take a step back. And then I'm going to say, all right, so to be that person, what do I need to do today to become that person? And then I sit there and I go, okay, today I need to talk to 2 people. I need to talk to 2 people. Today, I need to have a follow-up conversation with that girl who asked me last week about what I was doing. Today, I need to share the story of the workout that I had, even though my child was hanging off my leg and I looked a little puffy in my picture. Today, I need to do 5-10 minutes of personal development to be able to achieve the goal. Today, I need to, today, those are your mile markers, small, seemingly insignificant things that will get you to where you want to go. And I swear to you, I swear on my every being, those mile markers took me from being the girl who needed to get the groceries paid for to the girl who just walked across stage as a 7-figure earner with this business. So just know I am no different, but I'm really good at mile markers. And I was really good at knowing where I wanted to go. And I think about that all the time. I think about Katie as the survivor and just like being told I was a survivor from day one. If you say to yourself, I'm a successful Beachbody coach from day one, dang it, you like start to play that role because you become that role because you're so focused on your mile markers. I just went off on a tangent, but I swear to you, that's all you need to know. I swear to you, you are not overwhelmed. You just focus on your mile markers. Small, seemingly insignificant things that you can do every day that are going to grow your business. I just preached. Like Melanie is so good at like the tactical things and like being like, these are the things you need to do, blah, 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 blah. And I love her so much. I love her so much. And then I am like, I'm going to preach at you for a second because we need to hear that because we matter. You know, like we truly do matter, but sometimes we get so focused on, oh my God, I have so much to do instead of just like, what do I need to do today to be able to get where I want to go?
Katie, I so needed to hear that. Let me just tell you, because I feel like I'm so overwhelmed all the time. And that was just, I loved it, every second of it.
Yeah, because the more you tell yourself too, Nicole, like I'm overwhelmed. Like the more you say to yourself, I am overwhelmed, the more you're like, I am overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. Like don't say that. You're not overwhelmed. I'm so blessed to have access to the best team, the best trainings, the best of everything. And that's great. But right now, I just need to focus on like this small, seemingly insignificant step to be able to get there. That's it. I swear to you, I will preach at you. Like that is how I built a 7-figure business. And I'm no different. Do you hear my husband over there? He's stressing right now. He needs to focus on some mile markers over there. All right, guys, that is all I got for you. I hope that that helped, and I hope you know, like, you got this. You totally got this. Just don't overthink it. Just have fun with it. Enjoy it, like, and know that, like, you can truly just change someone's life by like, just doing this. That's it. Just one person at a time. Cool? All right, guys, that's all I got. Have a great day. I'll get this recording up for you, so if you feel like you need it another day, you can just check it out. All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank
Have a great
you.
day.